Welcome to this session on Docker. I'm Raghav and today we are going to learn how to install Docker on Linux. And as always, we will go very basic step by step, and towards the end of this session, we will also look at some useful tips. In this session, we will look at some prerequisites and then we will connect to our Linux instance, and then we will see how to install Docker, start Docker, stop Docker, and finally how to uninstall Docker. So let's get started. And I'm assuming that most of you watching this video must be having some Linux system with you. In case you do not have it and you want to do a hands-on, you can get a free Linux instance from Amazon AWS. So you can go to your browser and say AWS free tier, and you will get this link aws.amazon.com free, and here you can create a free account and then you can get a free Linux instance. So you can go to this site and in 3 basic steps you can get started and you can get a Linux system for hands-on. Just make sure that you remain within the free limits so that you do not get charged for it. I also will be using a Amazon Linux instance and my instance is here. I will be connecting to this Linux instance, and then the prerequisites are your Linux operating system must be 64-bit. So let's get started with step number 1, which is connect to your Linux instance. So let me go to my Amazon console and I will click here and say connect. So let me just copy this and go to my terminal and connect to my Linux instance. So now I'm inside my Linux machine. Also, as a part of prerequisite, you can run the command uname -r, and this will give you the information about your operating system. So you can see I have 64-bit operating system. Also, you can see the kernel version I have is 4.9. So it will be useful if you have your kernel version above 3.10. Also, you can go to your browser and say Docker manuals, and you will get this link for Docker manuals. Go here, and here you will get all the information related to installing Docker on any of these operating systems. So you can go to Docker for Linux, and here you can find all the different distributions of Linux. Now I'm showing you this link because I will be doing this installation on a Amazon AWS EC2 machine. So in case you are using any other distribution of Linux, you can get your corresponding commands from here. So now second step is we have to install Docker, and we will use the command sudo yum -y update to update all the packages, and then we will use sudo yum install -y docker. So let me go to my Linux, yum -y update, and it will update all the packages, and then we have to say sudo yum install -y docker. So this will install Docker on your Linux system. So now the installation is complete. I will clear the console. Now you can type the command docker and you will get all these options or commands. So in case you are getting this, that means Docker is installed. You can also now type docker space -- version. This will give you the version of Docker installed, and you can also say docker info. So here our Docker is not yet running, so therefore we are getting this message. So our next step should be to start Docker, and the command is sudo service docker start. So I will say sudo service docker start, and you can see Docker is started. And now I can run the command docker info, and you will get all the information about the Docker running on your system. Let me clear the console again. Now you can add your user to the Docker group. So for example, my user is EC2 user, so that I do not have to use sudo in front of every Docker command. So if I now run this command sudo usermod -a -g docker and your username, but you will have to relog in to make this come into effect. So as of now, I am not relogging to my system. Also make sure here you will give your user that is logged in. In my case, the username is EC2, so you can replace it accordingly. And now because Docker is up and running, now we can run some Docker command. So I will say Docker images. This will list all the images. So as of now, there is no image, so I'm not getting. You can also say Docker PS and it will list out the running containers. You can say Docker PS minus A to list out all the containers. So as of now, there are no containers, so we are not getting anything. And then to run an image, you can say Docker run and the image name. So one of the images that I can run is hello world. Now this image is not present on my system, so ideally Docker should get this image from Docker Hub, which is a online Docker repository, and then run the image, and then it will start the container. So let me click enter, and you can see here it says that unable to find image hello world latest locally, so it is pulling it from the library, which is Docker Hub. Pull is complete, and now you will get this message, hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working. And now if I run the command docker images, I am getting this hello world image. This is the image ID. And also if I run docker ps, or I run docker ps minus a, it will list out the container. So you can see this created 37 seconds ago. So now to stop Docker, you can use the command sudo service docker stop. So let me run this. And now you can see our Docker is stopped. The next is we can also uninstall Docker using the command sudo yum remove docker. So let me use this. And now you can see, you can say yes, and Docker uninstall is completed. So if now I will say Docker, I will not get any commands, and it is saying no such file or directory. So this is how you get started with Docker on Linux. Let us look at some useful tips. So you can visit this site get.docker.com in case you need any help with the commands. So let us go here. So here you can see there are some commands and some information that you might find useful while you are working with Docker on your Linux system. Also, you can install Docker from binaries on this site docs.docker.com engine installation binaries. So here you can see you can install Docker from binaries, and they have given all the information. I will also make all these sites available in the description of this video. And also you can go to this site to see step-by-step instructions on starting Docker on Amazon EC2. So if I go here, so I will make all these links available. So you can see this is the site where they have given step-by-step commands to install Docker. So this will be very handy and useful for you. I hope this session was useful. Please send me your feedback in the comments below. I will meet you in the next session. Thanks for watching.